Hey guys, welcome back to Farm 812. Thanks for joining me again for another video today. I wanted to make a video for you guys today to let's just talk about what's going on. I have felt such an urgency in my spirit lately to just be doing more than what I have been doing. I can't explain it. I just feel a sense of urgency. I mean, I have for a while now. That's why we've prepped. That's why we've, stored away and started all of the things that we've started doing, is because I started feeling this sense of urgency. Something's on its way. And that's just intensified these last several days. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And, we're all seeing it. It's out there. The world's going crazy little by little. We're seeing more and more every day. And I don't know, I just am increasingly concerned. I'm not scared. I am not, worried in the sense of, I know who's got me. And so, I lean on that, I trust in that, and I believe in that. But that doesn't mean I'm not sensing that urgency. And I can't help but to go back to the story of Noah and his ark, and the Lord telling him that something crazy was coming. Something crazy that people weren't going to believe, right? There were going to be a lot of people who just weren't going to believe that. And he knew it. He knew it in his soul that there was something coming. And he tried to warn the others, tried to prepare others, but they wouldn't have it. They weren't listening. And we see that even today in our world today. There are a lot of us who do sense it. We know. The Lord's speaking to us. He's letting us know that we need to become prepared. And we just have to remember that we've got to keep pushing on. We've got to keep pushing forward. There will always be naysayers and those that think that we're crazy or a little bit off our rocker, or that we're just, being overly worried. Conspiracy theorists, I've heard that one. I've even heard that I don't trust in the Lord. You name it, I've probably heard it. And I know a lot of you have probably heard the same sorts of things. But I gotta get on here. I gotta tell you guys, because with this sense of urgency comes that feeling of, am I doing enough? Am I telling enough people? Am I wording it the right way? Am I presenting the right issues or concerns or things to do? Am I advising in the best way possible? So all I know to do is just keep doing what I've been doing and try to educate people, try to forewarn them of what I'm feeling in my spirit and my soul and what the Lord's speaking to me. And, if all I do is reach one person, then that's enough, right? I have to remind myself of that, because there are days, honestly, it just feels like you're kind of on an island alone. I know you guys can relate to that. I'll tell you though, as soon as I get down in the dumps of feeling that way, then something will come along, revive me, restore me, re-energize me. In the last week and a half, I'm going to say, maybe 10 days, I've had more people come to me who don't even know I get on here and talk to you all. Come to me and say they have started to sense that they need to start being more prepared than they have been. And I can't tell you how satisfying to my soul that is. I don't know exactly how to explain what I feel. It's not a self-righteous sort of thing like, I told you so, because that's not what it's about. But it is a confirmation to me that, yeah, I am hearing this. I am sensing this. Something's coming, and now more people are getting on board with it. They're starting to sense it too. And that helps me feel just a little bit less crazy, right? And the craziness that is swarming all around us, it's more and more every day. It's the fires in the UK. It's the wars in Israel. It is hurricanes, tornadoes, fires here locally, earthquakes. You know, I mean, you name it, it's happening in the world today. You know, if that's not a sign of the times, y'all, I can't help you any more than to recognize what it is. The Lord told us, keep your eyes on Israel. That's going to tell you the state of the world that you're living in, and you see what's going on over there. He's not been wrong yet. So, you know, there were a lot of people who heard the message about Noah and his boat. I'm going to guarantee you they were people who believed in the Lord and thought they were following the Lord and hearing from the Lord, yet they chose not to get on the boat. They chose not to hear the warning. So that's the world we're living in today, guys. So I encourage you, if you are prepping, if you are getting ready, keep on keeping on. Keep telling people. You know, we don't have to be abrasive with our message. We just have to be consistent with it and continue to let people know what you're sensing, what you're doing, how you're prepping, what, you know, give them recommendations and tell them, you know, where to start. That's what I'm trying to do for you all. If you're not already prepping, hey, go watch some of my other videos that I've posted. It'll give you great starting points. And if you're just joining me today, I gotta let you know, get started. Get started. Even if it's $5 a week that you're gonna start prepping your pantries, get started. I want you to make the squirrels jealous. I want you tucking stuff away that like nobody's business. Left and right, you're saving, you're tucking stuff away. Start with water. Make sure you have a healthy, long supply of shelf-stable water, bottles, barrels, whatever you have access to. Water, make it your number one priority. So many of the time I'll talk to people who are prepping and putting food on their shelves and all that, and they neglect the water. Guys, we can go several days without food if we have to, but you cannot go several days without water. It needs to be your number one top priority. Not only in the drinking capacity, you know, the sense that we're going to have to intake some water through that, but you're going to need it for so many other things as well. So don't neglect it. Put away some water. If you have been neglecting it, make it your first priority moving forward. Second priority, like I said, should be your food. Put enough food away for you and your family for several months. I would say make it no less of a goal than have 3 months supply of these two items on hand. But I strongly encourage you to go well beyond that. You know, if you're just starting now, push to get yourself to a 3-month position. And if you're already there, keep going. Do as long as you go, stock as much as you can to get you as far ahead as you can, because I'm telling you, whatever I'm sensing in my spirit tells me we're going to experience something for a long haul. It's not going to be a couple days sort of scenario. So I want you guys to be prepared. I want you more ahead than you ever have been before. Once you have your water, once you have your food tucked away, then I want you to have cash on hand. Don't rely on the banking systems. We've seen here recently how quickly that can change. In an instant, you cannot have access to all of your money. If you can't get your money out of the bank, your debit cards aren't working, your credit cards aren't working, what have you, even if you're old school checks, if you can't get to your money, it serves no point for you. Have cash on hand. Yes, I know we're closer and closer every day to a cashless society. I get that. But that's not going to be as instant as your electronic avenues of retrieving your money. that could be gone in an instant. Cash is not going to go away quite so instantly. That's what's going to carry you through for a while. Have cash on hand. You're going to have to make the determination for you and your family what that amount is. But if you've not thought of that before, begin thinking about it today. Make a plan. Have cash on hand. And I encourage you that the cash you do have on hand, make it in smaller increments. Ones, fives, 10s, 20s. More and more, I am seeing businesses and places that aren't accepting cash in increments over a $20 bill, especially your gas stations. You'll see signs everywhere. Fast food places, I feel like I've seen that in many places there even, because it's too easy for people to counterfeit money in those larger bills. I'm guessing that's the reason. That's what I hear. And sorry guys, there's a fly in the house. It's what happens on a farm. But get cash on hand, smaller increments. And the reason I say that is because, one, they're going to be accepted in more locations. Two, if it comes to a situation where you have to start bartering or purchasing from individuals versus businesses, companies, and so forth, there's a good chance that if they don't have cash on hand, there's not a change-making system at hand here. If you're wanting to purchase an item for $3 and all you've got's a $5, well, you're out $2 if they can't make change for you and you truly need that item. So have smaller increments on hand. You can have the larger bills, but don't solely focus on that. Because like I said, I think that those smaller bills are just going to be more practical and more widely accepted in the case of, total economic craziness. So you've got your water, you've got your food, you've got your cash on hand. Then you can begin to start focusing on all your other household items, and toilet paper, soaps, detergents, first aid, all of those other things in your house that you probably use day-to-day basis. Have extras on hand. Don't have just one of anything in your house that you routinely use. You need to have a minimum of 2, but probably even well beyond that, just depending on the item that it is. Like I said, in a day's time, just begin to focus on every single thing that you touch throughout the day. From the moment that you wake up until the moment you lay your head on your pillow again at night, every item that you touch in your home or use, do you have more than one on hand? I'm not talking about appliances and those sorts of things, but toothpaste, deodorant, if you wear contacts, contact solution. If your glasses, is your prescription up to date? If not, get into your eye doctor, because if all of a sudden you can't, you want to make sure the prescription you've got is going to take you through several more years should you need to rely on that. These are the things I want you guys to start thinking about, thinking ahead, thinking about, if today everything went crazy, the whole world shut down today, how long are you okay? I want your mind to go there. I don't want you to settle there. I don't want this to be a 24/7 thought, but I do want you thinking on it. I want you making a plan. Devote a small amount of time each day to making sure that you are going to be more prepared tomorrow than you were today. I want you to go there for a little bit of time. I don't want you dwelling there. We can't go crazy. We can't go down rabbit trails that lead us to a doomsday way of thinking. That just leads to depression and a sense of hopelessness. So don't stay there. But do let your mind travel down some of those roads so that you can form new ways of being prepared. Start thinking about it. After you do all of that, even while you're doing all of that, start learning new skills. If you can't rely on a store or a neighbor or even your own members in your household for something, you've got to know how to do it on your own. Can you cook the majority of your food from scratch? If not, begin learning. Even if that's just one thing a week that you start learning, start now. Learn a skill, how to fix a hole in your clothing. Because if you can't go to the store to purchase anything anymore, you're going to have to start figuring out how to repair what you've already got, or creating something new from the things that you've already got. So learn basic sewing. I'm not talking fancy schmancy, intricate patterns here. I'm talking about basic repair of your clothing. Learn how to do that. There's a ton of YouTube friends out there that have already created videos to show you how. I encourage you, go seek them out if you don't already know some of those basic skills. Learn how to cook, learn how to sew, learn how to make some of the items that you use in your home. Maybe it's soap, maybe it's candles, anything of that nature. If it's something that's even remotely interested you before, I encourage you today, begin learning, okay? Here at Farm 812, we've never made our own sourdough bread. And this is such a popular thing to learn right now. There's so many people who are educating themselves on it because it is a good practical skill to have. Because in the future, I've got to know how to make something from scratch. This is a healthy item that is, it doesn't necessarily have to have refrigeration. It's a continual food. It's going to rejuvenate itself over and over and over again and supply us with a plethora of sourdough options. Because it's not just sourdough bread. You can make muffins, pancakes. I mean, there's a crazy amount of things that you can make from a sourdough starter. So that's what we're learning this week here at Farm 812. I hope to be able to share that a little bit with you guys here soon. So you can learn along with me and see, is it an epic fail or was it a major success, So I hope you'll stay tuned with us and jump in on that video when it becomes available as well. And if you haven't already, I encourage you that today is the day you put your foot in the sand, you dig in your heels, and you say, no more spending. Whether it is a coffee on the way to work every morning or, a dependency upon, vaping, smoking, soda addiction, whatever that thing is that you find you're continually spending, even if it's just $1 or $2 a day, whatever that thing that you kind of treat yourself with, spoil yourself with, I encourage you today, make your stance against it and say today was the last day you're going to purchase that item and you're going to begin putting that money away now so that you and your family can be more prepared for the future. Get that money savings going. Like I said, I want you guys making those squirrels jealous. Put it away like nobody's business. And it's not something you got to advertise to all your friends and family either. Do it on the DL. Don't make yourself a target because in the future that, that's going to be a real possibility if we do really have a civil war or an economic collapse or what have you. You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to be showy. You don't have to announce all this to everybody, what you're doing. But you do have to encourage people to continue getting more prepared than what they have been, right? We don't have to go crazy. We don't have to go overboard with it. But we do have to warn others, especially our loved ones, our friends, right? Those that we trust and know. Let's make sure they're just as ready as we are, right? Probably the most important thing that I can talk to you about right now is, guys, you've got to know what you believe and you got to stand firm on it. I want you getting your souls right. I want you turning to God, giving it all over to Him, trusting in Him, and hearing everything that He wants and needs to tell you right now. I want you to know what you believe so that when the time comes, you can stand firmly on it and know where your hope is and know where your joy comes from. That's above and beyond the most important thing I can tell you in this video, because I love you that much. I want you to be ready. I want you to be more prepared tomorrow than you were today. I hope that you'll leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your world. if nothing else, let me know the skill that you learned this week. I'd really love to hear from you guys. Let's encourage one another. Let's let each other know that we're not alone in this, that we can keep putting things away. Are you feeling a sense of more urgency these last few days like I have been? If so, down in the comment section, just type yes. I'll know exactly what you mean. And let's encourage one another to not give up. I feel like it's almost kind of like the last few hours, you know? Like, I feel like we just have maybe weeks at this point to continue getting ready. You know, I'd like to think we've got months, but maybe we don't. I truly feel a sense of urgency. So I can't wait to hear from you guys. And I will certainly be praying for everyone. I do on the daily, everyone that this video comes across. Please share it with others if this is what you've been feeling as well. If you're prepping, if you know somebody who just needs encouragement, please share this video with them. Let's lift each other up. And again, I just want you to be more prepared tomorrow than you were today. Till the next video, guys, I'll be praying for you.